What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the lab with another quest build. Got a blueprint for another super rare name for y'all that I have yet to see at the city. I don't know if anyone's made a video on it, but I was in the builder with one of my teammates tinkering the dials to try to find something uber rare that he could absolutely dominate on at the center position, and we found him. Believe it, he was looking to make something that could slash but that could rebound, like a rebounding slashing playmaker. And he sent me these specs, and I tinkered the dials just a little bit to try to ooze out an RBC and then, maximize the potential of the build. And we found something absolutely gruesome. It has shades of Josh Smith, Bam Adebayo, and Blake Griffin. This is the two-way glass cleaning slasher. Super rare name this year, very difficult to get. A lot of people aren't necessarily doing the things necessary to get this name, but we got it on this one. So here's a blueprint on how to make it, and again, I'm telling y'all, in the right hands it can be absolutely menacing. We're gonna make this at center. You're gonna be 6'9", 224 pounds with a max wing 7'7". We're gonna get our body shape built because we want that hitbox, we want to be imposing, we want to be menacing on the wood. So follow along to a T to get this name, and then tinker at your own discretion in your builder. But we're going to get our close shot to a 67, our driving layup to an 80. It's going to give us those layup packages that are really nice. And then our driving dunk, we are getting that to an 87. Standing dunk, let's get that to a 75 as well. Those are the badge threshes. You're going to get contact dunks on this build with gold limits takeoff. It's going to be really nice with 18 overall finishing badges. It's not a post-up build, but it's a slashing off ball, like I said, that Blake Griffin, Josh Smith kind of player. And when you do get that runway, you dunk everything on this build. Shooting wise, this is probably the weakest aspect of this build, but you do not punt. It is not a liability because we're going to get our 3 ball to a 78. Get your midi to a 71. So you're not really going to be stopping and popping from the mid-range on this build. It's going to kind of be a 3 or slash, but you do get that 78 3 ball with gold claymore, silver midi magish, and then silver guard up. But really, the Hall of Fame slithery off ball could probably come in handy on this build, and 16 shooting. You're going to be able to be that cone in the corner, space the floor, and then slash with good feel down that short corner when guards drive. But you're not a paint clogger. This is a great new era type player, and for those of you who are actually good at slashing on the game, play with this build and you might absolutely dominate. This build is going to be even more deadly in people who know how to slash, who have the feel for the timing of going backdoor and such. This is a true slasher build, but can also step out and hit that 3 ball. We're going to get our free throw to a 61 as well. When you play rec and you know your timing of your free throw shot, you're going to be able to knock that down. Playmaking wise, this thing is pretty gruesome. It's got some nice guard-esque ability in it. Pass accuracy, we're going to get that to a 75. And then your speed with ball, get that to an 82. Not speed with ball, I meant ball handle. And then get your speed with ball to a 71. It's going to give you 18 playmaking badges. Again, I feel like this is where I like the shades of Josh Smith, because he could really take it off the glass and then go coast to coast with it. It has nice ball handle. You're not going to be a liability when you get the ball on the perimeter. And so a lot of builds that you see that are kind of just like slashing cones, defensive slashing cones I should say, punt playmaking, which means when you get the ball you can't really do much with it, so you have to rely on everyone else to set you up. But on this build, as a playmaker, with the handle and speed with ball, you're going to be able to create for others just as much as people create for you. And so I really like that aspect of being a center. So when you're playing in the city in threes, you're basically a wing, and when you're playing in the rec, you're going to be kind of a mismatch for the opposing center. It's going to be a really nice build in the right hands. And then defensively, this is where this thing again really shines. You're going to get your interior D to an 86. That's the thresh to get the two-way name. In recent years, you could only get a glass clean slasher. Now you can get a 2-way glass slash. This is a Halloween menace, I'll tell you that right now. Get your perimeter defense to a 70, and then your steelies to a 77. Get your block to an 81. That's plenty. Those of you who know how to time and come over and help side, you're going to be able to get blocks on this build. And this is where the build obviously gets its name. You're going to max out your defense rebound to a 99, get the Hall of Fame rebound chaser, and then offensive rebounds, get that to an 84. Very Dennis Rodman-esque defensively on this build. 28 defensive badges. If nothing else, this build can rebound the ball, play good interior defense, handle the ball, and dunk the ball. But with that 78 3 ball, it really makes this build well-rounded, a perfect modern era 4-5 small ball 5 type player. And getting 28 defensive badges, man, again, in the right hands, this thing is going to be absolutely lethal for a squad looking to play comp. And in physicals, we're going to get our speed to a 75, max out your acceleration to a 75, get your strength to an 82, get your vert to a 75, and then we're going to go the rest on stamina to an 83. You know, again, I've been giving this a once over throughout the video, but 18, 16, 18, 28. The only thing you're punting, you know, from a playstyle standpoint is post control. You're not going to be doing any ISO post control. You're going to be more off ball, cut into the basket. Your midi 71, not the highest, but the 78 3 ball, it's going to be, like I said, a 3-and-D slash. But really, again, the rebounding and the defensive prowess on this build is going to be able to make an impact no matter what style or what game mode you're playing. Defensively, you're going to be that guy. You're that guy, pal. For the takeovers, you could double down on interior D and glass cleaning, but I also recommend maybe going like spot up precision and then, you know, team ratings boost, just to give yourself even that much more well-roundedness, because you're already going to be able to rebound, you're already going to play interior defense. You can double down on that, or you can strengthen the weaknesses of your build and go with these two. But again, if you follow it along to a T, you're going to end up with one of the rarest names in the entire game, the two-way glass cleaning slasher. You know we're in the builder trying to ooze out the rarest names, but make them playable and make them comp. I think this build right here is one of the builds I had most fun tinkering. Initially, when I found the glass cleaning slasher, I wanted to get that two-way name, see if it was in here, and it was. Who's got the plums to get on this build? Me and my boy have already been running the Theater 2s, you know, cashing checks and taking names. The Hardwood Mafia is out in full effect. This build right here is going to be lethal in the right hands. Let me know what you guys think of it in the comments below. And have you seen this name at the city? I have not yet. You know what time it is. Quest Sparrow.